Good morning, everyone. We'll continue with the fluid mechanics basics. Class number third it is. We'll see the capillarity. So, if you take a bowl and fill with water, and if you place a glass tube in between that, then you can observe the water has raised in the glass tube than the level of water available. So H is the rise, and that is because of adhesion cohesion, that is the responsible for that. So we'll see in detail about the capillarity. Ability of a liquid to flow in a narrow space without the assistance of and in opposition to external forces like gravity. Capillary action is sometimes called capillarity, capillary motion, or it is called as wicking. So about if you can experiment in your home, if you keep a tube, it is going to rise in that too against the gravity it is going to rise, and there is a diminution, this one, if there is a uh, cohesive forces are large, or if there is a uppish curve, there will be adhesion forces are more. So we'll see one. Capillarity will define it as a phenomena of rise or a fall of a liquid surface in a small tube relative to the adjacent general level of a liquid when the tube is held vertically in the liquid, as I have discussed. The liquid surface, if you place a small tube relative to that, the general level of a liquid, if you observe the level of the water liquid rise will be more in that tube. So there are two types of capillarities. One is capillarity rise and capillarity fall. Tendency of liquid to rise in the tubes of a small diameter in opposition to external forces like gravity, that is rise. Lubricating oil spreads easily on all parts of their low surface tension because of their low surface tension, that is capillarity. So here also you can see H is the height raised, D is the diameter of that small tube. So theta is the angle. You can have your vertical component and horizontal component later to equate and form the equations. Cotton dresses are preferred in the summer because cotton dresses have fine pores which act as a capillarities for sweat. So people say we should wear cotton dress in the summer because of capillarity action. The sweat is going to rise in the porous, small porous available in the cotton. Dirt gets removed when detergents are added while washing clothes because surface tension of water is reduced. Tendency of liquids to be depressed in the tubes of a small diameter in opposition to the external forces like gravity. So due to gravity there is a tendency to be depressed. So here whatever we have seen in the last figure, that is capillary rise, this is capillary fall. If you take a mercury and if you place a tube, there will be a fall of liquid in the tube, not in rise of liquid. The absorption of a ink by a blotting paper is due to capillarity action. As the bottling paper is porous, when it is placed over the ink rises into the porous. Also rises of an also rise of oil in the wick of a lamp is due to capillary action. Suppose in earlier days we are using ink bottle to write the we were using ink pens. So if you take a small blotting paper and place on a ink, automatically the ink is raised in that blotting paper because of capillary action. Another one simple example is earlier days we were using lamps. When electricity goes off, we were using lamps. In that, wick is at the top, but that kerosene is at the bottom. But the kerosene is going to rise up in the wick. Wick means that small thread or anything, whatever you are using to burn this. So there is going to rise of kerosene by the capillary action. If one end of the towel is dipped into the bucket of the water and the other end hangs over the bucket, the entire towel soon becomes wet due to capillary action. See, if you just keep one end of the towel in the bucket and other end free, so later if you see, after sometimes whole towel is wet because of capillary action. Supply of water to the leaves at the top of even a tall tree is through the capillarity. So water, you are irrigating the plant, but how the water is moving at the top of the tree? Due to capillary action. So this figure shows capillary. So we'll see expression for capillary rise. Consider a glass tube of a small diameter d opened at both ends and it is inserted in a liquid, say water. We'll see the water. The liquid will rise in the tube above the level of the liquid. So we'll see for a capillary rise now. So let h of the liquid in the tube under the state of equilibrium. The weight of the liquid of the height is balanced by the force at the surface of the liquid in the tube. So we need to mathematically we have to make a equality there. Height of the liquid in the tube, that weight of the liquid, how much it has raised, it is balanced by the force at the surface of the liquid in the tube. So this both equations we should have, weight of the liquid height and force, we will equate that. But the force at the surface of the liquid is in the tube is due to surface tension. So which force is acting there? Surface tension. Let sigma is equal to surface tension of liquid, theta angle of contact between the liquid and a gas tube, the weight of height in the liquid tube. How we have to calculate the weight? Area of the tube into height, you will get volume, into density of water and gravity. So if you multiply all this, area of a tube into height is meter cube, density is kg per meter cube, and this is meter per second square. So meter cube get cancelled, kg per meter square is Newton. So weight of the liquid is in Newton. So that is, weight is nothing but a force again. Already we have discussed what is difference between weight and mass. So area is pi by 4 d square. We will take a circular. Height of rise is h, rho is density of water, g is gravity, acceleration due to gravity. So if you take a vertical component on the surface of the tensile force, so that weight is held by the surface tension on the circumference of water with a certain angle, that is cos theta. So we'll take all this this one, sigma is surface tension, pi into d is circumference, pi d is circumference, and cos theta. So if we equate these both equations, so you will equate both the equations then we will have the expression for h. So h is equal to sigma pi d into cos theta divided by pi by 4 d square into rho into g. So what all things are going to get cancelled here? D is going to get cancelled, pi is going to get cancelled, 4 is going to come up. So equation will be 4 sigma cos theta rho g d, 4 sigma cos theta rho g d. Right. So see here, the value of theta between water and a clean glass tube is approximately equal to 0. So when cos theta is 0, it is equal to 1. So there is some angular difference, but we will assume it as a 0. Then equilibrium equation will give you h is equal to 4 sigma rho g d. So 4 sigma rho g d. Next, so same we can equate for the capillary fall. So if you equate for capillary fall, you will get same equation, h is equal to 4 sigma cos theta rho g d. Here also we will take mercury as this one, and same equation, pi sigma d into cos theta is equal to rho g h pi by 4 d square. Here expression you can see here. So from that we will have 4 sigma cos theta rho g d. So value of theta for a mercury and glass tube is 128 degrees Celsius. This is fixed. So 128 degrees Celsius you can observe the angular deformation. So it comes to be that is, you can use 128 degree and you can substitute in the equations. Now we will see one problem Calculate the minimum size of a glass tube for a capillary rise in it not to exceed 0.2 mm of water. The surface tension of the water in the contact is 0.0725 Newton meter. Contact glass is 60. So how much height rise is 0.2 mm. So you can convert in meter cube, 0.2 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter. And stress, that is surface tension given as 0.0725 Newton meter. Theta is 60. He is calculating minimum size of the glass tube. So we know the equation, H is equal to 4 sigma cos theta rho GD. So substitute all the values given here. 4 into 0.0725 cos theta, rho is that is density is 1000, G is 9.81, D we have to calculate, and H is how much is given, 0.2, so it comes around 0.074 meter. Second one, a clear tube of a internal diameter of 3 mm, so diameter is given 3 mm, is improve in a liquid with the coefficient of surface tension. Surface tension is given as 0.48 Newton meter. Angle of contact is 130 degrees Celsius. Density of liquid is 13,600. You take, it is not given in the problem here. Find the rise of liquid level in the tube. Find the rise of, means H he has asked. H is equal to 4 sigma cos theta rho GD. Same problem. So 4 into 0.48 is the sigma, cos theta is cos 30, rho is 13,600, 9.81 is acceleration due to gravity, 3 mm is the diameter of that tube, that is 3 into 10 raised to minus 3. So H is equal to minus 3.08, because this is capillary fall and it is assumed to be mercury here. Here it is not given mercury, but you should understand it is a mercury, because density of mercury is 13,600 kg per meter cube. So now we will study one more this one property, that is viscosity. See, viscosity I will explain in these two figures itself. See, if you press in a tube, travels very slow because of high resistance, and if I pour from that bucket, it flows easily because of low resistance. So opposition to flow is nothing but a viscosity. So what is viscosity? Viscosity is the property by virtue of which fluid offers resistance against the flow or a shear deformation. In other words, it is reluctance to the fluid to flow. So this is the viscosity. Viscous force is the force of resistance offered by a layer of a liquid for the motion of another layer over it. That also you can tell, viscous force. In everyday terms, viscosity is thickness. Thus, water is thin, having lower viscosity, while honey is thick, having higher viscosity. Put simply, the less viscous the fluid is, greater the ease moment or fluidity, you can see. So one more definition we can make. Viscosity is the internal property of a fluid that offers resistance to flow. For example, pushing a spoon with a small force moves it easily through the bowl of water, but some force moves mashed potatoes very slowly. Viscosity describes fluid's internal resistance to flow and may be thought as a measure of fluid friction. This is, maybe you can tell it as a fluid friction. In case of liquid, viscosity is due to cohesive force between the molecules of adjacent layers of liquid. In case of gases, molecular activity between the adjacent layers is cause of viscosity. So Newton's law of viscosity. So let us consider liquid between a fixed plate. You can observe in the diagram, fixed plate and layers of liquids are there, and top there is a movable plate. Movable plate having area A and force F is applied there, and one fixed plate and movable plate is having a distance of y. So u is a velocity. So as that plate is goes upper and upper, the velocity of the movable plate is more, and it comes near to the fixed plate, its velocity is reducing, and at the fixed plate, movable plate, both are one on the other, then the velocity is 0. You can observe in the this one, this graph itself, linear and non-linear. So that arrow mark shows the increase in the velocity at the top and decrease in the velocity at the bottom. So here I can say force is directly proportional to area and inversely proportional to the distance between the plates. So inversely proportional means that force is required more as the length decreases. As the length increases, force is less. So inversely proportional, and velocity is directly proportional. Force increases, velocity increases. So I can directly write F is directly proportional to AU by Y. F is proportional to AU by Y. And if you want to remove the proportionality constant and make it equal, use the constant mu. Mu is nothing but viscosity, AU by Y. So mu is a constant of proportionality called dynamic viscosity or absolute viscosity or coefficient of viscosity or viscosity of a fluid. So there are two types of viscosities, we will see later. First one, you are seeing this as dynamic viscosity or absolute viscosity is mu. So now F is equal to AU by Y, mu into AU by Y is there. So I will take A this side. So F by A is equal to mu into U by Y. So F by A is, which force is applied there? Tensile force? No. Compressible force? No. But there is a shear force. So F shear force divided by area is shear force, that is toe shear stress. It is shear stress is equal to mu into U by Y. So toe is the force required per unit area, that is shear stress. The above equation is called Newton's law of viscosity. So what is Newton's law of viscosity? Toe is equal to mu into U by Y. So velocity gradient or a rate of shear strain. So when there is a strain, there is when there is a shear stress, there is a shear strain. So here also the information is given. It is the difference of velocity per unit distance between any two liquid layers. At macro level we should go. So that was U by Y was there. So if you just differentiate and make it for a single layer, you can use the equation du by dy. Unit of force is Newton, unit of distance between two plates is meter, unit of velocity is meter per second. So velocity gradient is U by Y. That what is unit of U by Y? U is meter per second and that is meter. So meter get cancelled, and second, inverse second, that is second, s raised to minus 1 is the unit of velocity gradient. Unit of dynamic viscosity is mu, toe is equal to mu into U by Y. All you just substitute there, you will get Newton meter per second square, Newton second per meter square. So that unit you are going to get. So here m and m get cancels. So s goes at the top, Newton second per meter square, or you can say Pascal second. So what is the effect of pressure on the viscosity? Pressure has a very little or no effect on the viscosity of fluids, but temperature has a major effect on the viscosity of the fluid. So what is the effect of viscosity on the liquids? So if you go on heating the liquid becomes very thin, means temperature increases, viscosity is going to decrease. So effect of viscosity of a liquid is due to cohesive force between the molecules of adjacent layers. As the temperature increases, cohesive force decreases and hence viscosity decreases. So increase in the temperature will give you decrease in the viscosity. So decrease in the temperature will increase the viscosity. So you should understand by the practical things only. But what is the effect on the gases? Opposite. Viscosity of gases is due to molecular activity between the adjacent layers. As the temperature increases, molecular activity increases, hence the viscosity increases. This short note will be asked in the VTO exam. Okay, write the effect of temperature on the viscosity of fluids. So there is increase in the temperature, decrease in the viscosity of liquids, whereas in the gases, increase in the viscosity, increase in the temperature, there is increase in the viscosity. So there are two types of viscosity. One is dynamic viscosity and kinematic viscosity. Dynamic viscosity, sometimes called as absolute viscosity, it is obtained by dividing shear stress by the rate of shear strain. So it is the amount of shear stress required to produce unit deformation. Kinematic viscosity is ratio of dynamic viscosity to its mass density or its density. So that nu, you are using nu is equal to mu by rho. So kinematic viscosity, you can see mu by rho. So kinematic viscosity unit comes around in terms of meter square second. You just substitute all this mu. Unit of mu is Newton second per meter square. Unit of density is kg per meter square. So meter cube meter square, that is 1 meter will be left, and Newton second you convert kg per meter square. Everything systematically it is given. So just it comes to be meters square per second. Unit of viscosity, that is dynamic viscosity, it is shear stress to the change of velocity by the change of distance. So length is going to get cancelled, that is already we have discussed. The unit is Newton second per meter square or kg second per meter square. So types of fluids. So Newtonian fluid, non-Newtonian fluid, ideal plastic fluid and plastic fluid. So we'll see one by one now. Newtonian fluid, the fluids which obey the Newton's law of viscosity. What is Newton's law of viscosity? Tau is equal to mu into du by dy. So that is, if that obeys, then it is called as Newtonian fluid. Means there is a friction within the fluid. So example is kerosene, water, air, all are Newtonian fluids. Non-Newtonian fluid, the fluid which do not obey the Newton's law of viscosity is called non-Newtonian fluid. Some suspensions, bloods are the non-Newtonian fluids. Ideal plastic fluids. Ideal plastic fluids are those fluids which need an initially yield stress to cause a continuous deformation. After a thin yield stress, they obey the Newton's law. Starting they don't obey the Newton's law, later they obey the Newton's law. So drilling mud is the ideal plastic fluid. Ideal fluid, it is a fluid which has no viscosity, no surface to, and it is incompressible. Means there is no availability of such fluid, it is just a imaginary. The fluid which has no viscosity, that is ideal fluid. So thixotropic substance, it is a non-Newtonian fluid which has no relation rate of b and that is rate of between and angular deformation. That is printer's ink is the example for that. So we'll see some of the problems here. A vertical cylinder of a diameter 180 mm rotates concentrically inside another cylinder of diameter 181.2 mm. Both the cylinders are 300 meter high. The space between the cylinder is filled with a liquid. Whose viscosity is unknown. Determine the viscosity of a fluid if torque of 20 Newton meter is required to rotate the inner cylinder at 120 rpm. First write down the given data. Diameter of the inner circle is 180 mm, 0.18 meter. Diameter of the outer circle is 181.2, 0.1812 meter. Length of the cylinder is 0.3 meter. Speed of the inner circle is required is 120 rpm. Torque is 20 Newton meter. Viscosity of the fluid is not known. So rpm is given. You can calculate the velocity. Tangential velocity is equal to pi dn by 60. Pi into diameter is 0.18 into 120 by 60 is 1.13 meter per second. Because So this is the diagram here. So inner circle is 180 diameter, outer circle is 181.2. In between that there is a liquid, and that inner circle wants to rotate at 120 rpm. So how much viscosity a liquid is having in that? So we'll calculate the surface area of the inner circle, that is area is equal to pi into dl. So pi dl, pi into d is 0.18, the length is 0.3. So using relation tau is equal to mu into du by dy. So du is equal to what? Outer circle is fixed, so velocity is 0. So u minus 0 is 1.13 minus 0, 1.13 meter per second. Dy is, so what is the distance? 0.1812 minus 0.18 by 2, 0.006 meters. So at the center. So torque is what? Torque is d by 2 into mu. So 1883.33 mu. So torque is distance by time into force into distance by time. So that how much viscosity we have to use into d by 2. So shear force is equal to torque into area. So here is the actually torque equations here. Torque equation. This is tau. Sorry. Earlier after dy is there no tau it is. It's not a t. It is written in the equation. Tau is equal to mu into d by 2, because diameter by d is diameter by 2, that is 1883.33 mu. So force is equal to tau into area. So tau is given on the top, area is 0.1696 Newton. And so mu comes around 6.96 poise. So these problems we will see in the next class. Thank you.